Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over my June TBR, and it is crazy to think we are, halfway through the year. It really has flown by for me, so I don't know if that's the same for you, but just to mention, I do have like a cold or some allergies going on, so if my voice is a little scratchy or something, that's what it is, and hopefully I don't have to cut out too many little coughing fits that I'm having. I have no idea what's going on, but just wanted to let you guys know before we get into it. So let's go ahead and start with some things that I'm going to be bringing over from the previous months. And we'll go ahead and start with the one and only Ships of Merry War by Janie Wirtz. Will this be the month that I read more than 80 pages? Will this be the month that I get past page 200? Will this be the month that I finish this book? I hope so. I want to. This has been a book I have been... I don't even know if it's fair to say I've been chipping away at it, but this has been a book that I've been working on for quite a while. This is part of the Wars of Light and Shadow series. I think there's 11 or 12 books. The last one is coming out soon-ish. It's a really expansive story. It is really good. The writing is very different, and I say difficult, and maybe that's not fair. It's just so different that it takes an adjustment period whenever I do read it. But yeah, it's been a book that has been on so many TBRs and wrap-ups and everything. So maybe this will be the month that I dedicate a little bit more time to it and really try to finish it. I have the next book already on my shelf back there. So if I could get around to finishing this sooner than later, that would be great. I'd be pretty happy if I could do that. The other book I am going to be continuing on from May is The Words of Radiance, the second book in the Stormlight Archive. I am a little over a quarter way through this book, so I should be able to finish it up pretty soon here in the month of June. And just to give my thoughts about it so far, it definitely took some turns that I was not expecting, was not ready for them, and I think it is a positive. It's a whole different perspective. Some of the chapters we're getting that I just didn't think was something we were going to get. So it's definitely keeping me on my toes. It's being so early on in it still, we're still building to some certain things. I'm hoping they happen in this book, but we'll see if it does or not. So yeah, I will definitely finish that up in June. Once I'm done with The Words of Radiance, I'll probably want something shorter, and so in my plans, I have the next James Bond book. This is You Only Live Twice. I am getting really close to being done. I think after this one, there's only 2 or 3 more James Bond books that I have to read. And I was pretty happy with On Her Majesty's Secret Service. I think I got it right. It's such a tongue twister for me. I struggle with it. But that book was definitely a tick up on my James Bond reading list. And it had that James Bond charm back that you get in some of the earlier books. So it was nice, and I think this is the last of kind of a slight connection with a villain that is kind of in this, I don't want to call it a trilogy, but these 3 books inside of the larger James Bond universe are all kind of connected, and so I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes to an end. I'm pretty sure that's this book. If not, well, then it's the next one, and this will stay true for that, but I have enjoyed that through line, and yeah, I'm hoping that we get more of that charm and less of, I've called it, action film, books, and while they have their place, it's not the same kind of feeling I have enjoyed out of the series. So hopefully, we get more of that and less of like just weird misogynistic action stuff. If we can, I mean, some of that's going to be there. It is an Ian Fleming James Bond novel, but I'm hoping, it's just a little bit more lighthearted. Actually, lighthearted isn't even the right word. It's just charm. I wish I could describe it better, but I am just incapable of doing that. After that, I will move on to The Never-Ending End of the World by Anna Christie. This is actually a book, an arc that I got sent to me. It sounded interesting enough, so I said I would like an arc and I would review it. This is kind of a... the descriptor of it is Station 11 meets The Last of Us, and there's definitely some of that post-apocalyptic, I can't say that word either, end of the world kind of vibe with a lone survivor kind of wanting to explore the world. It almost made me think a little bit when I was reading, what it was about, a little bit of, what's that Will Smith movie? What is that? I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but the one I'm talking about with the dog and the man, it's gonna kill me that I can't remember what it's called. I had to look it up. I Am Legend is the movie I'm thinking of. This made me think a little bit of that, but maybe without the zombie vampire things. So yeah, that'll be interesting. It's not too long. It's like 450 pages, 500 pages. So hopefully I will be able to get to that. After this, which, interesting title. I don't know how I feel about it. I think The Never Ending, End of the World. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think it's interesting. I don't know if I love it, but I guess it's something that I'll probably remember. But after that, I'll move on to some of the Brandon Sanderson short stories kind of stuff. If you don't know, I am trying to read through all of the Cosmere this year following this list, and that will include, what is it, The Shadows of Silence and The Sixth of Dusks, which I think is like 150 pages total between the two of them, maybe a little bit longer, like 200, but they are in this, nice little collection. And I have no idea what they're about. I just know I'm supposed to read them. So I know they're in there, and hopefully they're good. I have enjoyed most of the shorter works that I've read out of that little collection. I know The Emperor's Soul I really liked, especially for, just like a 150-page novella. It was really good, so that's kind of what I expect out of Brandon Sanderson at this point. The last thing I will mention, which is also sticking with Sanderson, is I would at least like to start The Alloy of Law, which is, once again, that list is the next book I'm supposed to read. I just know this is Mistborn Era 2, and people, I think, are a little bit more divisive on how they feel about Era 2 versus Era 1, which is fine with me. I don't really know. I know technology has kind of progressed a little bit. That's really all I know about Era 2. So that is the last, or one of the books I would like to get to. I also know that Philip Chase's second book, I think it is The Prophet of Edan, is supposed to come out this month, though I haven't heard him mention anything about it recently. He did show the cover for the second book. It looked pretty cool. It has like a dragon on it or something. So that's pretty good. I've had kind of mixed positive feelings about the first one. I liked it. I thought there were some really good parts of it, and then some not so good parts about it. It was really peaks and valleys, I think, is what I even said on the thumbnail of that video, which I think is true. But the end of the book was enough that I definitely do want to continue on. And if it does come out this month, I'll maybe try to at least start it, squeeze it in, because I'll probably read that one physically, and I'll listen to The Alloy of Law on audio, probably. And if that doesn't happen, well, I still have this, Godkiller by Hannah Canner, still my cover of the year. I love this cover so much. I don't know why, but I love this cover. I think it's just beautiful. I'm going to tentatively have this on here as kind of a backup if that Philip Chase book either doesn't come out or I'm just not feeling it at the time. That's if I can even get through everything else. Maybe I'm biting off more than I can chew again. But I feel like after my last month with not reading as much, I'm kind of really wanting to read a lot this month. So that is good. And maybe I should tone it down, because there are also some manga that I want to mention that I want to get to. I really want to focus mostly on One Piece. I made that video about how I felt on the first 100 or so chapters, and I definitely want to push ahead, and I think I probably won't make another video on that until I get to chapter like 250. I don't know exactly where the arcs in One Piece, kind of reside. So that's just me kind of spitballing that's another 150 chapters. I feel like I can kind of make my decision on how I feel about the series as a whole at that point. And maybe not. Maybe it's still too early. I mean, it's such a long series, but I feel like if I'm 25% of the way in, I'm still pretty lukewarm on it in general. I don't need to continue pushing forward with that. I will definitely add Monster to my list. That is, I think it's more of a fiction manga than like a fantasy kind of skewed one. I don't know too much about it. I know it has something to do with a doctor who saves somebody's life who then becomes an awful person. I think that's as much as I know. So I will be following along with the Philip Chase Murphy Napier read-along for that, which is awesome. I really enjoyed their discussions. I followed them for the Vagabond one, so that was really cool. And then I will just continue reading the other series I read, which are normally Berserk, Vinland Saga, My Hero Academia, Boruto, Black Clover, which I hope ends soon. I'm kind of done with that. And I'm forgetting some. I'm slowly rereading through Dragon Ball Z. I've read it a few times, but I don't know. It's just one of my like comfort series that I enjoy, and it's been long enough that it's time to go back through one of the great classics of its genre. So, yeah, and I don't think there's anything else. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and have a good one.